Actually, mindfulness that we usually talk about is it is half the story. The other side of mindfulness is clarity. It is through mindfulness that there's some clarity. Clarity of what? Clarity of purpose, clarity of strategy, clarity of subject matter, and clarity of what really matters. So if you are in turmoil, emotionally and so on, you will not have the mindfulness space and clarity doesn't arise. It is with clarity that we know what are we staying healthy for, what are we doing certain things, or do we have that clarity of purpose. Strategy is this the best way, most efficient way, most ethical way? Does it hurt other people? So that's the strategy. And then subject matters is whether is it financial literacy or health knowledge, or is it relationship. So we need to have clarity on what's the subject matter, and including what are the things we do not know, right? And then finally, what really matters is you need to know ultimately what truly matters in your life. Everybody needs to solve that question. It's not easy to answer, but all of us have to have some kind of that. But so mindfulness makes this possible. Why? We are not clear when we are emotional. So this is CBT. So emotions, cognitive, and then behavior, right? If you're feeling in a certain way, negative emotions, or in a very restless, joyful but restless, very mind is very like, for example, addiction behavior, that kind of emotions. What is mindfulness? Mindfulness is about fully present in the moment, directly confronting the subject that we need to confront, and not forgetting, the mind is not distracted, and it feels like a guardian, guarding the mind and guarding the subject on the mind. It can be a concept, but it can also be a person or a sound or something. Okay, so this is mindfulness. So why is this important? Because it is through mindfulness that the things that cloud the mind can be let go of. The thing that cloud the mind are all the emotions. It can be all the unpleasant emotions, anger, sadness, disappointment. It can be something very subtle like restless or craving for something, because addiction is like that, You are stressed, but instead of confronting that make you feel depressed, you actually think of food, you think of cigarette, think of alcohol. So those are also not good emotions. Restlessness, all these things are the one that make us react rather than respond. These emotions will change your perception, change your narrative, your understanding of the situation, and also change the way you think, how you solve problem. And then this dictate your behavior that is harmful to your health, your wealth, your relationship, your learning, and your resilience. So in a way, we want to manage the emotion so that our thinking becomes clearer and less more objective, right? And then our behavior becomes more rational, more focused on what is the purpose, what is the strategy, what's the subject matter, and what really matters. So mindfulness helps us do that. But how does mindfulness work? When we're mindful on something neutral, okay, most people, they'll teach mindful on your body sensation. It's very neutral and it's always there. Then feel the sensation. It's like you're in a storm, then suddenly you feel your body. Okay, so you actually extricate yourself from the storm. You feel your body is very neutral. It doesn't arouse any of those negative emotions. Then your mind, because of the change of subject, the subject determines the mind that follows. So then the mind that follows is actually mindfulness mind. Mindful mind is very interesting. When the mind is mindful, it naturally is accepting, is contented, it is light, it is flexible, it is trusting, it is respectful both to oneself and others. So when the mind is mindful, all these very soft, very wholesome kind of mental qualities are there. So when they are there, then because at the moment because in order to practice mindfulness, you need to let go, right? So you let go and then you stay in the present. Once you stay in the present, the emotions subside, your thinking becomes clearer, and then your behavior becomes more rational. So then you can have clarity, then you do the right thing. But of course, this requires skills. That's why mindfulness is easiest to say, not easy to do. You need to do it regularly. It's like learning how to cycle. So, and then if you have the skill to be mindful, of course, it's not just skill, it's also your lifestyle. If you're very busy, no matter how skillful you are, you're not very mindful. Or that you frequently do things that make you regret, make you feel guilty. It's very hard to stay mindful. So your whole lifestyle also needs to be a bit more simpler, a little bit more really ethical, at least to your conscience. So then mindfulness is easy. Okay. Also, you require practice. So when there's mindfulness, then in terms of health, you know why do you want health? Because health is good, but why? You know all these things. Then you do your best to promote your own health. Security, then you start to know the value of financial. I mean, it's not about the more the merrier. It's about security. And then security is a state of mind. Then you are aware of that as well. So you don't accumulate like hoarding behavior, that everything you do not want to part. You become more mindful of that. Then in terms of relationships, if you're mindful, you would definitely be friendlier, and you will be kinder, and you'll be caring, and you'll be generous. And then you will also be not clingy, needy. So you're going to have a lot of friends and good harmonious relationship. Learning, yes, with mindfulness you can learn a lot, because learning anything you need to be present, right? And then mindfulness helps you develop the clarity, and this will help you transcend. Generally, learning mindfulness, there are two components. One is the object of your mindfulness. The other one is the mind state of the mindfulness. So when we practice and skill ourselves up for mindfulness, we're actually trying to develop all these qualities of acceptance, contentment, trust, tranquility, and so on, right? Respect. All these we are trying to develop. But different individuals require different objects, different subjects. There are some people, maybe by the reasons of genetics, by the reasons of past experience or present lifestyle, they may be very distracted, or that they are very extrovert, or that more than being introvert, or that they prefer something more tactile senses, more tangible than conceptual. Also depends on their culture, their religion, and so on, right? So if they've got religion or their certain culture, you can take advantage of their faith, to prescribe a subject for mindfulness. Then if you're an extrovert and all that, maybe it is good to do mindfulness on something external, like sound, like even bodily sensations, or maybe we can prescribe, object like a color, red color, expand, or water. But if an introvert, okay, then maybe I'll say mindful of breath, okay, and then or mindful of. You can also do bodily sensations. Is also alright. Or those with a religion, and then they can actually do a mantra, which is very common in Buddhists and Hindus. And you can also read the scriptures. The Bible or Quran, you can actually just read respectfully. When you're respectful, there is mindfulness. So you can just read it. So these are all. So we can prescribe according to the background of a person. So, but that is the external part of mindfulness. The other part is the inner qualities. You have to learn how to accept, content. All the contentment is the same as letting go. Acceptance is the same as unconditional kindness and love. Respect is really about having some kind of veneration to everything. And then trust is like letting go of fear and then just trust. And then tranquility is like on a hot day, you go under the shade of a tree, that kind of feeling. Lightness. Anyway, when you're mindful, all of these are there. But sometimes we need to balance the mind. You can let go more, put in more effort so you can actually cultivate that part. So in a way, we can teach mindfulness generally, but you need to individualize. So, and that one depends on the person's background. But also during the course of the practice, you can troubleshoot and adjust accordingly.